Hey ladies, so last night I went a little crazy and made this soap. I couldn't wait this morning to cut it, so I did cut a slice of 4 slices off. This is from my 16 bar loaf mold, and I wanted to show you guys what it turned out on the top, how it turned out, but I'll show you guys when I cut it. I wanted to show you guys my husband's soap cutter, the one that, well, my soap cutter, he made it. I don't know what you call this, well, oh my god, the word just slipped out of my mouth. This is that paper that has the glue on the bottom, and he put this on top of it, sort of, so that, you know, let me show you. So that the soap doesn't mess up the wood up here. And what type of wood is this? What type is it? I forget. I'm gonna find out the exact word for this type of wood. It's not like oak wood or anything like that. That would be a really heavy soap cutter. But I really liked how my husband made it. We are thinking of listing some up for sale since it looks really nice. Let me show you guys how I cut my soap, and I'll be right back. Okay, so let's get started. So yeah, like I was telling you guys, let me see where I have that paper at, honey. Okay, so the paper that we used in here, it's the one that you use to line your cupboards in case you don't want, you know, and it has this like adhesive back. I forget, you know, I know the word, it's just not here. It's weird. Anyways, so let's get started on it. And this soap is scented with Pink Grapefruit essential oil. It has a little bit of lemongrass essential oil, just because I like, you know, the way the lemongrass blends into other essential oils, and I love how it changes the smell just a little bit. Like, it's still the smell, but I could smell it. So let's see. And also, I only fragrance this part here because I didn't want this other part to discolor. Honestly, I have used titanium dioxide in the past. I have some titanium dioxide here in my soap room because, you know, I know that I have to use it sometimes. Like, I had to use it yesterday just because I didn't want the lighter part to come out so dark. But, when you make soap, you have to be really patient. And sometimes I'm not that patient. And I didn't have my titanium dioxide, you know, already diluted in some oil or water or anything. And I, you know, put in a tablespoon or a tablespoon and a half, I believe, into my, what is it, 60-something ounces of soap mixture, of batter. And I got specks. So I got specks on my soap. So let me show you. As you can see what I just did right here, I leaned on my soap cutter and I'm going to mess it up and my husband's going to kill me. Do not lean on it. Just bring it down smoothly. So yeah, I was able to convince my husband to make me a soap cutter because, see, I leaned on my soap, on my soap cutter. Because I was, you know, as I was telling my husband, the soap cutters that are out on the market, on Etsy, on eBay, just online in general, we're talking about $100 minimum, including shipping. And it's honestly just too much for me. And I mean, as any soaper knows, you know, the little profits you make from making soap, you put them right back into soap. You have to buy, you know, new supplies, and you run out of cocoa butter, you run out of shea butter, you run out of oils. Excuse me. I am constantly having to place orders for I just recently reordered castor oil, some sweet almond oil. I also had to order, what was it? You know, some other stuff, like stearic acid, you know, to make my lotions. But it's always a constant struggle of trying to keep up with your oils, trying to try new stuff, because you don't want all of your soaping, all of your soaps and all of your products to have the exact same ingredients. You want to mix it up sometimes. You want to be able to offer different types of you know, oils in your soap. So that's, you know, it's hard keeping up with so many oils. So spending $100 on a soap cutter to me was just not. And the question, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna keep cutting it with my knife. And although now that I have a soap cutter, I can tell the difference in the way the cuts are actually straight. One, there's not really much drag marks that I've seen so far, like when I'm using a knife. And all my soaps are cut at the same size, which is something I really, really like. My husband's soap cutter, see, if you just drop it down straight, it cuts perfectly. So you know, my husband, you know, all his life he's done carpentry. He works in carpentry. I showed him the soap cutter, and I told him, you know, is it really hard for you to make? You know, we have a guitar store not too far from our house. It did take him about I believe it was 2 weeks to make it. He had made me another one. But it was just nothing like this. So we finally went online, he got dimensions, he got how it looked, and then he went all crazy and customized it for me, which I thought was really nice, you know. I know, like, when, you know, nighttime comes, I go on YouTube and I love to watch soaping, you know, when they're cutting their soap. And I love, you just don't, you know, as a soaper, I don't know if you could see, let me see if I could zoom in. I don't know if you could see some of the specks in here. I mean, it smells awesome. It's just the specks that drive me a little crazy. But I go on YouTube, I look at, you have to hold this one. I look at soap cutting videos. I look at people who upload pictures on Pinterest. And it's funny, I don't know if this happens to you guys, but I go on Pinterest. I look at so many different soaps. I go on Google. I go everywhere. And I see so many different types of soaps. I'm so inspired. And then when I get into my soap room, it's like, okay, what do I make? And my mind is blank. Because I never want to copy somebody. You know, as much as I love their soap, you just never want to copy. And that is exactly what I'm trying to avoid. So, let me just clean up my soap cutter. And since this is, I clean it with alcohol. And it cleans up pretty nicely. So let's show you what I have. I was able to get 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 soaps out of this mold. And that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And let me know what you guys think about my soap cutter. If you would like my husband, to list some up for us that can't afford the $100 soap cutter. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.